Welcome to a show called The Man Cave.
Man Cave.
With Boner on the mic, it's a good day.
Good day.
Adam McDonald and Kelsey too. Thomas behind the scenes, producing all the goods. Have a good time on a Friday.
Oh, g'day and welcome to another Bonafide Man Cave with lots to talk about and a very, very special guest of the Man Cave. But first of all, my vice captain, who has been with me for a long, long time now. In fact, Adam first came into my life in a professional sense. Spark in his eye, a head full of dreams, a heart full of passion, but unfortunately not much anywhere else. However,
a head full of hair. I have a lot.
From Evans Hastings, the man who is the expert on memorabilia, Adam McDonald. Insert applause here.
Hey, smattering of applause. Thank you, Skipper. Good to be back.
Luke, I'm pretty sure if you click the second button on your Roadcaster, it will applaud.
Oh,
press it
really?
now. Yeah, just press it. That's not what I was expecting.
Close.
Just like when he was on air.
Yeah. Oh God, I should not have shown you.
You've unleashed him now.
There we go.
I've got sound effects. I didn't even know I had them. And can I just welcome to the Man Cave my brother from another mother, Mark Beretta. Yay!
Luke, hey guys, good to be with you, fellas.
Oh, no, that's not applause.
I get that a lot.
Mark Beretta, great to see your face. Miss you so much on Sunrise with your input and your sport, but we do get to see you on Sunrise because of that wonderful cause that you're an ambassador for, Tour de Cure. So it's always good to catch up with you, brother. Lots to talk about here. So welcome to a little bit of mayhem.
Love mayhem and love your mayhem, Luke.
Beretta, do you miss the daily thrust of getting up at 2 o'clock in the morning, being in at Channel 7 at 3:30, makeup, hair?
Yes.
Oh, Adam wouldn't worry about it. But hair and the cut and thrust of daily news television. Do you miss it?
Yeah, I miss that bit of it. I miss the being up and into it and sort of having the jump on the day. What I've discovered is a whole new world called mornings, where you can get up and actually do things. And you can sleep in when you want to, which I don't. I sleep until about 4 o'clock at the moment because that's just been burned into me from 22 years.
Yeah.
But no, I miss the people. I miss the team I work with because we'd been together a long time and we still catch up a lot. I had a great catch up with Koshi just a couple of weeks ago. So no, life's good, mate. I must admit, there comes a time where you need to move on. You've got to do something different. And the reality is for all of us, you actually get to a point where you realize you've got limited time. Like if you're going to do something, you better do it because the clock's ticking. And it was just the right time for me. You know, I'd done 22 years at Sunrise. Those 3 o'clock wake ups, they had become a bit challenging. And it was just the right time to go and do something different. And to be honest, mate, I'm loving this new world that I've found, you know, and I'm not fatigued during the day. I don't feel like I've been on a 24-hour flight most days. It just feels good. I'm actually a fair bit healthier and just enjoying getting out and about and doing things and doing a lot of things that I've sort of always wanted to do. So that's been fun.
But do you still, when you go out to restaurants or hotels or when you're out socially, do people still come up and want a selfie with you? Do they still recognise you? That's the main thing.
Look, I don't know if it's the main thing, but they're very kind. They've been very good. And the number of people who've been kind enough to say to me, hey, we miss you in the morning, miss seeing your ugly mug and, you know, getting the sports news and things. And I really appreciate that because you don't realise, and you know this, when you're in the trenches, and it's, you know, it's not really like being in the trenches, but when you're doing what you're doing, you don't think much about how that impacts people and whether people are actually listening or not.
Yeah.
And, you know, when it all ends, it's been really good. I've been amazed at people's reaction, and they've been really kind, which is good. And no one's actually said to me, "Thank God you're gone. You really used to give us the shits." So it's been good.
Well, I think you'd be part of people's morning routine. You know, you get up, you put the TV on, you listen to Mark, you're having your tea and toast. You'd be part of the daily vernacular.
Yeah, Adam, someone explained it to me the other day in a really nice way, is that you become a regular in people's lives.
Yeah.
So for a lot of people, particularly in the heyday of Sunrise, you know, I guess the Koshi era was when, you know, people really, they woke up with Sunrise. You know, they started their day. That was it. You know, you got up, you turned the TV on, and particularly often a lot of people who were, you know, who whatever reason were on their own, often people who'd moved into state on their own or had stepped out from the family, when they were on their own, we became their family, and that's the way that we wanted it. It was great. So that was a really important thing, and making that connection with people lasts a long time.
I've got to tell you something, Beretta. I think Sunrise might be in trouble because before I started being a contributor on Sunrise, Kelsey's mum, Nikki, the Minister for War and Finance, she loved Carl. And so she used to watch Today. And then when I started doing work on Channel 7, she switched across. And I hate to tell you this, but she's got the hots for you. And now you usurped Carl. So she's watching Channel 7 not because of me, but because of you. So they could be in trouble.
I think between the two major morning shows, it's like you're either a Holden fan or a Ford fan. Like you don't change. Like that's just what I watch. To get the minister to change stations, that's a big thing. That's like going from you're a Ford to a Holden guy.
So which one are you, Beretta? You'd be Holden.
I would be. Now, funny story that, because I grew up in Geelong, which is Detroit, the home of Ford, I'm a Holden man, yes. Yeah, Dad had these magnificent Holden Broms. They were incredible cars, and we loved them. And I'm a massive fan of Scafie, good mate of Scafie's, and always have been. And and Brocky. I mean, Brocky. I was the era, when Brocky was racing, and there was just Peter Brock and Holden, and that was just life. So I'd be Holden for sure.
I'm a Holden guy, and I grew up in Broadmeadows. And there was a big Ford factory in Broady.
You're in enemy territory.
I can't go back to Broady anymore, I tell you.
Not in the Holden.
No.
Beretta, you've been and done how many Bathurst 1000s now?
My first one was in 1997, and I got a call up to go and host it as the 7-person, and I had to sit along a bloke who had just retired from racing and knew a little bit about the sport, and his name was Peter Brock. Wow. And could you imagine? Like, I've gone to my first Bathurst in 97. I'm just blown away by the place and the whole experience. And then I have to sit next to Brocky, who is my idol, and I can hardly speak, to be honest. And I've got to try and get through this all-day broadcast. And it was one of my greatest memories was that. And over the years, we did plenty of work. Brocky joined 7 as a commentator on motorsport. And I got to spend an incredible amount of time with him and really became great mates, to the point that when he retired officially away from all motorsport, he rang me and we took a Channel 7 camera and spent the morning with him. So we had Brecky with the family at home. He then drove us into the Holden racing team, where he then gathered the team and told them that he was done for good, and it was pretty amazing. One of my greatest memories is driving through Melbourne in a Holden SS Commodore with Brocky at the wheel. That was pretty cool.
It's a shame how Peter Brock's relationship with Holden ended with the polarizer thing, and I knew Peter. I knew Peter really well as well, because I lived in Bathurst from 84 to 99, and I loved him, and he was such an ambassador for the sport. And then I was worried that he was getting a bit woohoo with this polarizer. Holden could not justify charging the extra money, otherwise they could have got sued. And they were asking extra money for this polarizer.
What's a polarizer?
Let's explain to Kelsey what the polarizer. Kelsey, just Google Peter Brock polarizer, and you'll see this little box with rainbows on it.
Yeah.
Beretta, explain.
Explain it. Wow. Well, the idea was it was going to improve performance of the car, if I remember right. It was going to do all sorts of wonderful things, but there was no scientific backing to it, and Brocky just became obsessed with it. It was it, and when Holden rejected it, it was wow. That was the greatest sponsor athlete blow up probably in Australian history. This national brand and this national icon just at loggerheads, and it split the association, you're right. And it was, just amazing to see.
Why does it look like something off Back to the Future?
Because it was ahead of its time.
It's like
does it work?
No, it does not work.
So it was this little box of magnets and crystals, and Brocky swore by it. Holden said, we can't justify having this in the car and make claims that can't be proven scientifically. and they parted company. It was such a sad thing, Beretts, wasn't it?
Yeah, it really was, and national icon and a great national brand. And this partnership that was almost inseparable blew up, and it was massive at the time. But Brocky was an interesting character like that. When he believed in something, he was madly passionate about. If I remember right, I don't think, certainly in the later stage, I don't think he drank. I remember him having herbal tea a lot. He was always a herbal tea guy, but amazing quality of being able to connect with people. Rocky would his ability to have a conversation with you and make you feel that you were the only person in the world at that time, and just fully engage was a real credit to him.
Yeah, he did drink a lot, and he smoked before he joined Harry Firth. At Holden, and he completely changed around. But he did drink and smoke, but he gave that away. But 9 Bathurst wins, unbelievable.
Unsurpassed.
And and having seen him in action, signing autographs, and he wouldn't leave until the last kid had left. Unbelievable. Beretts, the whole country reached its arms out to you when you lost your mum last year, and it was very, very sad.
Dad.
Sorry, your mum wasn't well. Sorry, and when you lost your dad last year, and has that really sparked your Tour de Cure passion going?
Yeah, very much. When I started with Tour de Cure 18 years ago, we didn't have a connection to cancer at all. And it was just this is a good thing to do, almost a bit of a pay it forward. It was just for me, it was a personal challenge at the time for a good cause. It was as simple as that. And then 7 years ago, Mum developed ovarian cancer. That moved to stage 4. She's still fighting on. She's as tough as nails. And they call it, her oncologist calls her the miracle, because she just hangs in there, which is brilliant. And while that was happening, my dad, like a lot of guys his era, kept probably very quiet about his own cancer. He had lymphoma, and he went into remission a couple of years ago, and then it came back in the start of last year, and it came back hard. And by September, he was gone. And it was just an incredible time for the family. It was I took a lot of time off work and went and spent a lot of time by his bedside. We actually ended up setting him up in a hospital bed in the lounge room at the family home. And he had his final days there, surrounded by the family. We watched the day before he passed away was the AFL Grand Final. We watched that together. And Geelong got hammered, which was not the ideal result for Dad. But, it was quite a special time. And, he said lots of things that he needed to say to me. And I said lots of things that I had lots of questions and things I wanted to talk to him about. And it was the most special time. It was just, I'll treasure it forever. It was really, really good time.
We do tend to have a bit of fun here in the Man Cave, but this is such an important topic. I'll stay with it for a sec.
Yeah.
I lost my dad when he was in his mid-60s, and he dropped dead of a heart attack, massive heart attack. In fact, the coroner said he just fainted. He'd gone before he hit the floor. And I'm glad that he went out of pain and didn't suffer. But I miss not being able to do what you did with your dad.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
I don't know what I'd prefer. See someone suffer and go through a long illness, but have the chance to say goodbye and tell them how I really felt, or to have them suddenly go without any suffering. I don't know what the answer is, Beretts.
Yeah, and neither do I, Luke. I to see a man who was so strong and so capable. My dad was a plumber all his life. When I say all his life, like into his mid-70s. And he was just an icon of a man. And people, when he, at his funeral, we didn't expect it, but it was standing room only in St Mary's Cathedral in Geelong. It was massive. And I had no idea the amount of people that he touched, but he was a great community man. And I've never met anyone who's done more for the community than my old man. And, to have that time to talk to him, but to see a man like that, just, wither away in illness was hard, but also to spend that time with him was precious too.
Yeah.
So it's 50-50, Luke.
My stepfather raised me, and I lost him when he was 49. I was 19.
Wow.
He was a military man, so he was the strongest man in the world. I owe everything, my work ethic, my backbone, everything to this man. And we weren't his kids, but he took us on him as his own. I was 19. He did the same. He dropped dead of a heart attack. And for that reason, like my Mark, I've got a boy who's 18 now. We call him Wonder Boy on the podcast. I speak to him every day, and I tell him I love him every day. And he does the same. And because of this reason, I remember I was going to work I'd been out on the cans the night before, and the old man came in and knocked on my door and said, "You got to get up and go to work. I don't give a shit what you do the night before, but the day you can't get up and go to work is the day it stops." And I said, "Yeah, that's a fair call." So I did. I got up and go to work, and then I got the phone call in the afternoon that we'd lost him. So the last interaction I had with this man was get up and go to work. And that's purely the reason why I don't take sick days. I get paid to do a job, and I do it every single day.
Yeah, it's good. They I don't know, fathers just have a special impact, particularly on boys. And I'm the same with my son, Dan, who's now 18. And he's good now. Like it's almost a race at the end of a phone call to say, "I love you" first.
Yeah.
You know, it's really, and I never did that with my dad. My dad was not, he was a tough old plumber. And,
Exactly.
we didn't hug till much later in life. And, we didn't say, "I love you" a lot. But then when we did in those last few years, it really meant something. And it's something I reckon I hope all blokes embrace, the importance of not just being that dad and that leader and that I guess that role model, but also being, sensitive and understanding too, and giving a hug and saying, "I love you," and talking about how you feel.
Beretta, you are co-hosting the Cure Ball in Canberra. It's coming up on the 16th of May.
Yeah, it's a big night in Canberra. It's the second time we've done a Tour de Cure fundraiser in Canberra. Great night at the Hyatt Hotel. Beautiful hotel. Good fun crowd. Not a big one, about 300 people. So it's kind of intimate, but really good fun crowd. Great night out. We had a bender last year. It was just great, and carried on in the city in Canberra, and we decided it was so much fun we'd do it again, and we raised some good money for cancer research as well.
Hey, Adam, you should go. You're in Canberra.
Yes, you should.
I should go.
You should meet up.
Yes.
Great, let's do it.
I'll get your details. I'd love to come along.
Yeah, good. It's a good night, mate. I guarantee you a good night. And just squaring away with Lion Nathan, a bit of support at the moment, so you won't go thirsty.
Yeah, good.
EHVA should get a table and invite me.
Yeah,
Invite
come down
Kelsey.
to Canberra.
Kelsey will go.
great, done.
Oh,
Hells
we'll
yeah,
talk.
I would go.
Yeah.
We'll make a night of it.
What's the dress regulations?
I think it's black tie, so you're gonna have to step up a little bit.
Beauty.
But that's
Love
good.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kelsey, you have to frock up. Isn't it great being a bloke? All we're going to do is put on a suit, and the girls spend hours getting every detail, and we just put on a suit and rock up.
Even the picking the right dress is a drama. That is a long ordeal.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. The other day, we were going into 2GB, and I was doing my makeup in the car because I ran out of time. And Luke literally put on jeans just before we left and was like, "All right, here we go." It was very annoying.
Anyway, it is great being a bloke. Beretta, another highlight of Anzac Day on Channel 7 has always been the Currumbin Dawn service. What a special place that is. And I've always loved your emceeing and the fact you really embrace Anzac Day. Well, this year Channel 7 went to the Cenotaph in Martin Place, and I was on Sunrise later that morning, and I was absolutely horrified when an Indigenous elder was booed. It was Welcome to Country, and I understand that that's divisive, and a lot of people, including myself, I don't go along with Welcome to Country. But booing on Anzac Day to me is the most sacrilegious thing you can do, especially when he was talking about his grandfather who was in the Light Horse, his two brothers that had served in Vietnam. He too had served here in Australia in a capacity, and there was booing on Anzac Day. Now, I said this, and I'm going to shut up now because I'm dying to hear both your opinions. I had a picture, when I was on Sunrise, I had a picture of my pop, James Rupert Reid, who served at Villas Bretno, and they asked me, "What do you think your pop would say about the booing?" And I don't know, because did he fight like many others for the right to be able to boo when you want to boo? Yes, it was distasteful. Yes, it was sacrilegious to me. But should it be illegal to boo on Anzac Day? Who wants to go first on this?
I'll go. I don't think it should be illegal. I think this whole idea of we don't like it, make it illegal, put people in jail is horseshit. You've just got to educate people to know that that's the wrong thing to do. It's not necessary. You might have your own opinions, but opinions are like arseholes, and everybody's got one. Keep it to yourself. You don't need to be, especially on, like you touched on, Luke, a sacrilegious day like Anzac Day. If you don't like what's happening at the service, don't go. You're not required to go. Don't go. Stay at home with your views and boo yourself in the mirror. But to do it at these events is it's just ridiculous. But making it illegal, like making everything illegal, is ridiculous. I think, but there's too many laws as it is.
Yeah, Barretts, we've got these new hate crimes now, which have been debated vigorously. Could you see the day where booing, where it's deemed to be offensive, it could mean a criminal charge?
Well, that's sort of there already, isn't it? Because there's public nuisance or, conduct disturbing the peace, whatever that is. So that's in place. Police can act on that. That booing, for me personally, I was just disgusted. I think it's just not the day. If you've got an objection or protest to anything, Anzac Day is not the day to be doing it. But I did see one of the Navy commanders gave a great grab, and he talked about it, and he was asked just that question, is how do you feel about it? And he answered this, I thought, beautifully. He said, he said that it wasn't, he didn't like it personally, wasn't comfortable with it, but he said that is what we in the Defence Force fight to protect Australians' right to speak and to protest and to have the freedom of speech. So it's a really tricky one. I think you've just got to be aware, look, if you're going to make a protest and any form of protest, it's the time and the place that you do it. And Anzac Day is not the day. That morning, and that wonderful man who was speaking at the time, had such a great story, as you say, Luke, about Anzac Day, and I think he was a member of the 214, the Light Horse. Just an amazing story about his family history, and to be interrupted like that on a solemn morning, Australia's most solemn morning, was just way out of taste and way out of step. And I wish police had have acted quickly and just moved him away, because they've got the power to do that. He was causing a public nuisance on a very important day, and we've just got to get a little bit tougher with some of these people, a little bit less tolerance. And, there's such a small, annoying minority that, I understand your right to protest, but pick your time and place, please, carefully, because days like that was just not right at all.
The new Liberal leader, Angus Taylor, has said that he thinks that Welcome to Country has gotten out of control and is often performed unnecessarily. I don't go with Welcome to Country. I don't feel I need to be welcome to my own country. And I'm speaking as a Wiradjuri. Proud Wiradjuri. I think it's overdone. Is Welcome to Country appropriate at Anzac Day when we are remembering in the most solemn way thousands and thousands of Australians who have saved this country? Is Welcome to Country? Angus Taylor says it's overused. Who wants to go?
Yes, it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I think it's necessary at these events such as Anzac Day, but having a Welcome to Country when you're opening the school fete, I guess it is getting overdone, and it's losing its meaning because it's getting done so many times. So at these big events, the grand final, Anzac Day, all these sort of events, yes, I'm all for it. I've got no issue with it, but it is getting overused, and it seems like every time someone opens an envelope, there's a Welcome to Country.
Adam, I go to a meeting and there is a acknowledgement of country at the start of the meeting, and you're right, it wears away the importance of it. It loses its sense of occasion. Done right, a Welcome to Country is magnificent, and a smoking ceremony is magnificent because it connects us as Australians, and it comes both ways. It's a real meeting of cultures. I think it's great, but done in the right place and done for the right occasion. And I'm in two minds about Anzac Day, to be honest, because I think on Anzac Day we're so in the mindset of the Anzacs and that sense of sacrifice, and it is a solemn occasion. Is the Welcome to Country an acknowledgement of country the right thing? I'm not sure. Having said that, Defence Force has its own version of Welcome to Country, which specifically acknowledges the role of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders and what they have done for Australia in times of peace and war. And it's beautiful, and it's beautiful for Anzac Day. And I think maybe that is the version of acknowledgement that is done on Anzac Day, because it recognises the incredible service of Indigenous Australians and Aboriginal people over the years in the Defence Force, which has an incredible history. And if you've ever ventured north and you've come across North Force and the Indigenous Aboriginal soldiers up there, they are unbelievable. These are people who know their country, protect their country. They are an incredible fighting force. They always have been. And to be honest, thank God they're up there, because any adversary who's coming to this nation who thinks they're going to get through those guys has got another thing coming. They are outstanding.
Is the national anthem overdone? Should we sing the national anthem at state of origin, or do we only sing the national anthem when it's Australia playing another country?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that is overdone as well. All this pomp and pageantry, it just gets out of hand. Like, you even when you turn the footy on, there's 25 minutes worth of just hoopla. Like, it's just shit. The welcome to country, the national anthem, all this stuff. We don't need it. Like, I'm there to watch the football. Let's get on with the game. Big events, yes. But, I'm opening an envelope and singing the national anthem. It is getting out of control.
Bloody hell, Adam, you are tough, mate. You are tough. See, I'm the opposite, mate. I can have the national anthem of this country all day long. I love it, and I love the occasion. I love the emotion it stirs up. It does give a sense of occasion. Big occasion. State of Origin is a big occasion. Our football grand finals are a big occasion where the nation's focus is there, and we should celebrate the national anthem because we're celebrating our culture and the people we are. I wish it was easier to sing because I have trouble hitting those high notes, but I will belt that anthem out every day, and it really means something to me. But I've also had the privilege of serving Army Reserve, and I sort of understand that it means a lot more to people, and when you're serving in uniform, it's extra special. So I'm a bit of a sucker for the national anthem. I bloody love the thing.
Are you guys confident that you know all the words to the national anthem?
I only know the first
or
verse.
second verse.
I only know the first.
I only know the first.
Yeah.
Is it gold and soil or golden soil?
Golden.
It's golden.
Golden.
If it was gold and soil, geez, you talk about immigration, we overrun.
We take the gold and soil.
We take the.
We had a gold rush, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good on you, Kelsey. Yeah. Ballarat.
Have you heard of the Eureka Stockade?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Kelsey,
I can't really remember the story behind
Kelsey,
it.
you lived in Bathurst for how long? Hill End,
I'm not
Safala,
going to the bloody history museum.
the Gold Panna on the entrance to Bathurst at Raglan on the right-hand side, the Gold Panna Hotel caravan.
Massive thing.
Yeah, did you wonder why that was there, Kelsey?
Well, I knew that Bathurst was a gold mining town. I knew that.
There you go.
Did we have a gold rush? Jesus.
No,
Yeah,
but
we
it is
did.
golden soil. It's golden soil.
I loved Shane Jacobson in the movie Kenny. Australians let us all ring Joyce. They thought that. Who's Joyce, and why do we have to ring her?
The kids at school, here's a classic. I only learned this the other day, right? The kids at school learn the first line, Australians all love ostriches. And I can't remember the second lines, but the kids learn a way that they can sing it. Classic. Our kids will have a bit of fun with anything. But I'll tell you what we did
Australians all let us
Anzac
ring
morning.
Joyce.
I heard the kids at North Bondi Primary School sing the national anthem, and they sang the New Zealand national anthem, and then they sang the Australian national anthem, 2 verses, and it was spine-tingling. It was fantastic, and they were just brilliant. So thumbs up and hats off, and well done, kids of North Bondi Primary School.
I don't think I've got any idea what the New Zealand anthem sounds like.
Oh,
It's
Is it a good one?
I could probably sing it. I've heard it so many times before sports fixtures.
Yes, yes.
I'll insert a clip here.
Bledisloe Cup. Yeah. Jesus creepers. Yeah. You hear the New Zealand national anthem way too often, as we will at the Commonwealth Games, I'm sure. Beretts, the Commonwealth Games, are they relevant?
Absolutely. 72 nations. Look, I think
I
they're
couldn't
great.
give a rat's. I want Olympic. I want Olympic gold. I don't care.
Yeah, good. That's nice for you. But it's the second biggest sporting event in the world, Like it's massive. Beside the Olympic Games, that's it. And it's our family. It's our Commonwealth family, however you look at it. It's a great thing. And you look at all of those athletes, little names like Ian Thorpe, Kathy Freeman, all got their start at Commonwealth Games, all won Commonwealth Games gold before they won Olympic gold. It's an amazing stepping stone. It's awesome for our athletes. It is the one games where our wheelchair athletes and disabled athletes are integrated with the able-bodied program, so it all happens together. It's not separated like Olympics and Paralympics. In a lot of ways, it's a forerunner, and it's, as I said, 72 nations. It's about, if I remember right, it's about 4,000 or 5,000 athletes, although this will be a small one. The Glasgow Games, funded by Melbourne, will be a smaller one. But no, it's got its place, mate, and it's fantastic. And you know what? Anything that brings the youth of the world together, that where people get to know each other, they break down barriers and they form lifelong friendships, bloody double thumbs up. It's a great idea.
Yeah. I'm kind of with Luke on this. It's kind of like winning the grand final in B grade.
You
know
are
what I mean?
such a party pooper.
Bloody hell, you two.
Such a party
Do you know what I mean?
pooper.
But like Luke said, believe it or not, I'm no athlete. All right, I'll just throw that out there.
Surprise, surprise.
Okay,
Oh,
I'll throw
breaking
that
news.
out right. I'll throw that out right now. But if you're an athlete, you want to be going against the best of the best of the best to test yourself. And the Commonwealth is you're going against the neighbourhood kids.
Zimbabwe and Fiji.
Yeah, because they can't run. Look, I would, mate, I would challenge you. You find me a Commonwealth Games gold medalist from Birmingham who says that medal didn't mean anything to me and representing my country didn't mean anything to me. I'll just pass and I'd rather just go to Olympics.
I don't
Absolutely
doubt that
not.
for 1 second.
You know,
I don't
and they
doubt
have,
that for 1
yes,
second.
they still have world championships. All of that's on the agenda, but this is a fair dinkum event. And the swimming nations are strong. The track and field nations. I mean, crikey, in the marathon, you've probably got every great marathon nation in the world anyway there. So, it's definitely got its place. I'm sad it's shrunk because they have had to, because Melbourne didn't provide all the budget for Glasgow, so they've had to shrink the event a little bit to keep it rolling. But I hope it grows back to its greatness. And I've seen so many great performances at Commonwealth Games over the years. And gosh, you remember Kathy Freeman in Canada and Victoria when she ran with the Indigenous flag and the Australian flag. That is sporting and cultural history right there, and happened at a Commonwealth Games.
Well, the biggest sporting event in the world is the FIFA World Cup, then the Olympics.
Well, that's debatable, but they both claim to be the biggest sporting event in the world. Yep.
Okay, let me ask you
But
this.
also, isn't it good that, Adam, your so-called B-grade athletes or whatever, like some people, that is a huge accomplishment. Some people will never get to the Olympics, but saying that they made it to the Commonwealth Games is like such a motivation.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm not saying it's not. And to get to the Commonwealth Games,
There's the World
it's a lifelong.
Championships.
It's the lifelong journey. It's like you're training every day. Like I get it, but the Olympics is the pinnacle. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one's arguing that, mate, but the Com Games has got its place. I
watch it every time it's on. I watch it, no doubt. It's great watching these athletes go through what they do and get to where they need to.
I'm being a little bit selfish here because I look at my favourite sport, basketball, and if we won a gold, I couldn't give a rat's. I want that Olympic bronze medal that we won was the biggest thing in my lifetime that I've ever seen.
And fair enough too.
Thank you,
I'll give you a funny
Paddy
fact,
Mills.
just to round this out before you go on a love rant with Paddy Mills. In my time at 7, and I don't know if it's still the case, I suspect it might be, but Commonwealth Games actually used to outrate the Olympic Games because of the Australian success, because of the number of medals we win. So you could
Robert De
you could turn
Castella.
on-
Robert
So
De
it's-
Castella.
yeah, pretty much any time. Oh, what about that? If that's not one of the greatest things you've ever
Yeah.
seen, his run in Brisbane in 1992 at the Commonwealth
I've got
Games.
nothing. Robert
was
De Castella,
absolute-
I remember
What about
watching
Matilda the
that.
kangaroo? When all the kids came out of Matilda's pouch. How good was that?
The winking kangaroo. Barrett's, one more sport question. We have gone a bit sideways here, Vice Captain, because we've got Barrett's, who's the sport expert. But I've got to ask you this. Are the Matildas overrated? They draw huge crowds. They get a lot of publicity. And Sam Kerr is one of the most recognised faces in the world, let alone Australia. But they haven't won anything. Are the Matildas overrated?
You would be familiar with a guy called Marty Sheargold, Luke.
That's exactly what I was about to say. That's
Yeah, but I'm
exactly
not on
what I was
Triple
about to
M.
say.
I'm not bagging them. I'm not bagging them. I am not bagging them.
No, I'll say this, mate. For what they do, what is overrated? I mean, for what they achieve, for what they've done to bring the nation together, I reckon you could probably name. I reckon most Australians could name a handful of Matildas, which in the national side is pretty good. They have inspired a nation in sport. They've inspired young girls to get out and play sport, do football. Are they overrated, mate? I don't think so. They haven't achieved great international success, but crikey, they're in a tough environment. Like, we are taking on the world's best football nations. We're a little nation of, what are we, about 28 million at the moment. We're punching above our weight. That's the bottom line. You look at
That's what I reckon.
The world ranking is fantastic, Adam.
To get to where they are, I'm gathering. I'm going to call it soccer, soccer would be the most played sport in the world. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm making that up.
It's the world game. Yep.
It's the world game, right? So, for like Beretta said, for a dusty little nation down in the Pacific Ocean to be world ranked, I think it's a massive achievement. Yeah. And like you said, the best thing about them is inspiring these other young women to get out and play sports because they're absolute role models. So, if they get a fourth, great. But now you've got another next generation of young girls that want to play sports and want to play football.
Yeah, well,
I watched them at the Olympics in Brazil when they were bumped out by Brazil in Rio in 2026, and it was tough, but they were fantastic. I mean, they really took it to one of the world's great powerhouse football nations, and I just made us so proud that night. And I actually caught up with them for a drink afterwards after that and got to know Sam Kerr then and Alana Kennedy and a whole bunch of them. I have the greatest respect for them. I think Sam Kerr is a legitimate superstar. Put her in any sport and she'll be one of the best in the world. But thank goodness we've got her in football for Australia because she's a ripper. And girls look at her and go, yeah, I want to be like Sam Kerr. And that's what we want. And even young fellas are looking at her saying, yeah, that's awesome skill.
Yeah. Beretta, I got nothing, but I just wanted to stir the pot. I was just geeing you up. But
I like you, Luke.
But I got to say this. How many kids, let alone Indigenous kids, took up little athletics because of Kathy at 2000?
Yeah.
Oh, that is single-handedly the best moment in sports ever. And it won't be touched. It won't be beaten. Yeah. The weight of the world was on that woman's shoulders and she nailed it.
Yeah. See, for my generation, that moment is the Matildas in was it the semi-final, whatever final it was?
Penalty shootout. The penalty shootout.
Oh, that, to me, even though did they win that game? I can't remember.
It was the penalty shootout, I think she's talking about, Beretta.
Yeah, and I've never watched soccer in my whole entire life. We got kicked off my soccer team for doing cartwheels on the pitch. To me and my generation, that moment is the moment I feel that the whole of Australia came around the Matildas and got around. That is my Kathy Freeman moment. Just saying.
Yeah,
that's a very good point, Kelsey.
Can I tell you a quick Kathy Freeman story?
Yeah.
In Atlanta in 1996, she ran second to Jose Marie Perec, the French girl, remember her?
Yeah.
The one who came to Sydney and then bolted before the start of the event because she basically shat herself. When Kathy ran second, she went to the stand to her mum and she gave her a big hug and she said to her mum, "Mum, I'm really sorry you came all this way and I disappointed you." She said, I won't disappoint you in Sydney in 2000. And sure enough, she kept her promise true and she won that gold medal in Sydney and just stopped the nation. I think it's still the most watched sporting moment in Australian history.
Yeah, it will be. It won't be beaten. Like, everything about it, the opening ceremony when she's standing in the bloody rain, like everything about it.
Yeah. And the cauldron malfunction. You've got so many great stories. That's the way we went today. I hope you don't mind.
No, that's great. Love it. Just means we'll have to come back, Luke and Adam, and do it again.
Absolutely.
Your beauty.
With a new computer for Luke.
I'm about to write. Adam McDonald, Evans Hastings, thank you so much, brother. Good to see you again. And Mark Beretta, love you, mate.
Good on you guys.
Boys. Thanks, Kels.
Love you. See ya.